What if I told you that just a few small changes on your listing could have major impacts for how it is viewed on the platform? Well, that's exactly what I am here to tell you today. This isn't just a generic guide on how to update your listings. This is real insider tactics that we use day in and day out here at My Amazon Guide to update all of our clients' listings and make sure that our clients are reaching the top of the page and best selling rank that they can. It's January, it's Q1, and you know what that means. It's reset month. It is the time of the year in which you're supposed to start getting into the weeds with what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be optimizing all of your listings, all of your advertising, everything on the platform, and planning for the rest of the year. One of the first things you should always be doing in January, if you haven't done it already, is refresh your listings. If you have any holiday lingo, any language around Christmas, Black Friday, sales, anything like that, New Year's, make sure you take all of that out. Make sure you put your original pictures back up if you change them. Change your brand store, your brand story, your A plus content, all back to what they were before the holidays. Since we are in the middle of winter and it's a blizzard outside for me right now, I would be remiss if I don't include something along the lines of adding some keywords in there, such as winter essential. You should also be looking at your New Year's resolutioners. This is the time of year where if you are in the fitness, the supplements, the organization, the self-improvement categories, these are the time of the year where you are going to see the biggest impact for your product. The keyword New Year's resolution jumps up immensely coming into the last week of December and now into the second, third week of January. This is something that you really should be making sure that you are hitting on very closely. Now is the time in which you can use something like a brand tailored promotion, remarket and retarget those people, and try and get that extra little conversion boost here in January. Realistically, you're not going to see huge sales numbers in January unless you're one of those New Year's resolutioner categories. But what you need to know is that January really sets the tone for the rest of the quarter and for the year. February, the month of love and the month of deals. Valentine's Day, that is the only real major holiday within the month. Make sure you're updating all of your listings with new keywords. Make sure you're updating your advertising as well with Valentine's-esque keywords. Throw things like romantic gifts for couples, Valentine's gift ideas into your keywords, into your back-end SEO, and this is just going to give you a little bit of extra impression boost. As someone who deals with cold often, I can tell you that February also does not mean the end of winter or winter deals in the sleighs, so make sure you keep your winter deals going, your promotions going, and keep all of that SEO for the winter sales, end of season sales, etc. Near the end of February is typically when you're going to see that kind of cutoff time, so you can start adding end of season or end of winter deals into there, or end of winter gift ideas for things like that. Or if you're somebody going into the spring season, the end of February is about that time in which you want to really start looking at switching over a lot of that SEO into a more apt time for spring sales, spring ideas, or spring gift giving. Make sure you're still putting those Valentine's Day keywords in, but don't always expect that it's going to be a huge sales event, as we're still early on in the year and it's, again, something that not everyone is going to be purchasing for. So it really helps to set yourself up, though, in February for March. And March comes spring. Spring is going to be more tailored for a lot of different audiences, as it's when people are starting to get back out of the house, things are warming up slightly. It makes more sense that people are trying to get out, get moving. And so if you're somebody who has a spring product for outdoor supplies, even a sports supply, anything in between, March is a very good month for you, even if it doesn't have a lot of major sales events. That's one of those things where you should be looking at having SEO on the back end and even the front end, if it makes sense for your product, of outdoor gear, gardening supplies. These are the type of categories that are going to really start rocking in March, and it's what you really should be focused on. Now, if you're not somebody who has an outdoor product, it's not the end of the world. You can still look at things like St. Patrick's Day, which, if you have a green product in general, you would be baffled at how well all green products do on the platform come St. Patrick's Day. So make sure you have green themed products in your keywords, in your PPC, St. Patrick's Day in there as well, if that fits to your product. However, at the end of the day, the biggest thing to note is that sales start jumping up a little bit more come March in general. People are a little bit more apt to spend. It's the end of the first quarter. Usually this is around the time in which tax refunds come in, so people have a little bit extra spending cash to really push forward. So this is the time that you really should be focusing on trying to capture as much of that impression and that new audience as possible of sellers who really have been dormant the last couple of months post Christmas and the new year and really are going to be digging into spring sales. Make sure as well when you're updating your listings, don't forget about your imagery. Spring imagery, add green leaves, flowers, etc. to your products if it really makes sense for an outdoor product. This is going to be something that really helps with your click-through rate on the product and your conversion rate. People really need to see the actual purpose of the product, see that it's meant for outdoors, see that it's something people are going to be going outdoors for. It helps them envision what the use of the product is. So make sure to add all of that green imagery, the flowers, to really get people in the mindset of it's spring, it's time to get outdoors. This is something that I can use to do that. So that is a very, very easy way to boost your click-through rate come this spring. Now, none of this is absolutely game-changing or absolutely, top of the line changes that you're going to be making, but they're all extremely necessary in how you are going to be positioning your listing moving forward into the future. This is how you're really going to set yourself apart from your competition. And speaking of competition, make sure you're keeping an eye on them. See what they are also doing during this winter, January, February, March, and spring time to see if they're updating their listings in line with these different changes. If they're not, then they are behind the curve and you are going to really have a leg up comparatively to them. Secondly, make sure you're really keeping an eye on your performance metrics during this time. I love to check out my ICAP funnel during this time. This is the perfect time of the year where ICAP is going to show you exactly on your listings where you stand as a whole. Since you're not having as many impressions and since you're not having as many clicks or purchases in general, this really shows you what the actual market that wants your product, even during the down season, is doing. This allows you to really fine tune and see where your ICAP funnel misses the mark the most. So if you're not getting impressions, you really need to update your SEO. If you're not getting those clicks, look at your imagery, see what is missing, see if you can add something to your main image. Are you not getting your add to carts? Maybe it's time to look at promotions and some different pricing strategies, or maybe your PDP just doesn't have what it takes to really convert the customer at the end of the day. So these are all things that you should be looking at. An easy way to go about this as well is to really use this time for things like A/B testing your main image, A/B testing your title, to see what the general low impression, low consumer base is actually wanting from your product to help convert. Perfect time to really see if you are missing the mark somewhere and what could have a major impact going into the busier seasons of the year. This is the time in which if you are thinking about trying something new or thinking about trying a new service or a new software or a new title or anything, you should absolutely be looking at now. So go ahead, try some new things in Q1. Make sure you update your listings for the actual big selling times that there could be in Q1. But overall, you just really want to make sure that you are testing and testing and testing. If you found this video helpful, leave us a comment down below. Let us know anything else you'd like to cover. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also hit that notification bell to know every single time we post, which is very often. In the next iteration of this, we are going to be going into PPC launch strategy. So if you have ever had difficulties launching your PPC campaigns, make sure you tune in for that next episode.